package yet, have probably filed a grievance, and then Amazon has refunded their money. And then...
Really? They can't figure it out? Is there any way...
You could contact Amazon and say that the packages are at your house if you
My
feel...
guess is they'll be like, keep them.
I'm surprised you don't want to take a zip around the lake. If you missed our show yesterday, there are count them, 3 packages that were left at Chewy's house that are not his. They are somebody else's on the lake, around the lake, on lake. But you are not real interested in bopping around the lake and dropping them off.
It's just, it's a big... Well, me and my wife used to ride our bikes around it, and I think it is 14 miles.
Okay.
14 miles of Lake Drive.
What's interesting...
And you said when you came over the house for Ashton's little Ashy Bash, it took you forever because the addresses are so weird. I'm willing to give it 17 minutes.
When you get home, are you going to the lake house at all or no? You're going to the big house?
Not till tomorrow.
Okay. When you get there, take a picture of the addresses for me. I'll Google map them and see how far they are from your house. Okay. To your point, if they're on the other side of the lake, then I'll be like, you know what, Chew? It's a lot of work. Don't worry about it. But if they're 3 doors down, shout out to the band. If they're 3 doors down, then maybe we have a conversation about, loading them up and driving them over.
Okay. I don't think there's 3 doors because the names, I don't know the people, but I kind of know the names around the neighborhood.
And you don't know the names.
But then you're going on the other side of the street, too. So times that by 2, right? So you have 14 miles of lake on 2 sides. That's really 28 miles.
Okay.
That sounds like a lot of work.
If, again, they are on the direct opposite side of the lake, right? This is like, are you going to China or are you going to Iowa?
Part of me wants to build a little, like we said yesterday, little raft, like Castaway.
Push them out into the middle of the lake.
And then see where they wind up.
Yeah, well, then they're not your problem anymore, are they? No. Speaking of problems, did anyone catch Alex Strofe? Man, this is the gift that just keeps on giving. Alex Strofe yesterday throwing out the first pitch at the Chinooks game, which was right down the street from me. I should have popped over, but I was running the kids around like the Uber that I am during the summer. Do we have enough evidence at this point, team, that Alex Strofe is not an athlete?
It's becoming embarrassing to the station, I think. Did you post the video, Joshy?
The video's on the ESPN Milwaukee Twitter account. I have 3 separate views here that I can make available to us to watch and all the people out there. So we talked about this on Mr. Irrelevant. We do the show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He campaigned for this himself because I believe he started an argument on KBN that he believes he would throw a strike. And I think many other people said, based on your past history, it seems extremely unlikely you will get even close. Now, not to pat myself on the back, my official prediction was he's going to sail it over the head of the catcher and almost miss the right-handed batter's box.
Are you serious? Were you that specific about how you thought the first pitch at the Chinooks game was going to go?
Yes, because this happens a lot for people who typically don't pitch on a mound, don't throw a baseball very often. And then I have the history of this guy can't even run an L shape athletically, so how's he going to throw a baseball? It's unbelievable. Do we want the first view? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is insulting, actually.
No, it's not.
Here we go.
It's not.
He is jogging out to the mound. Here we go. On YouTube stream. He's jogging out. He's looking at a little point. I assume that's to Ben Brust, who is catching for him, correct? And then Ben Brust is tall. He's taller than I am. He's not as tall as Chewy, but he's tallish, right? If you're over 6 foot, I think you're considered tall. He sails it over Ben Brust, outreached arm, right? Am I not articulating this accurately? Am I exaggerating for effect here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Josh?
No, it seems like the ball flew roughly 10 feet over Ben Brust's head. So we're talking, the ball had an apex of around 20 to 16 feet in the air. If you know anything about a strike zone, it's typically knees to the chest, to the nipples.
Would it have been better if he bounced it? like
way
50
better because that happens. You hold on to the ball too
Yeah.
long. You're trying to deliver a strike.
Well,
You
because
skip-
most people are throwing off a flat ground
Right.
when they throw. So it does take a little bit of getting used to throwing off of the.
I want to show you another version, another angle.
If you're not on the YouTube stream right now, gang, get to the YouTube stream. We are showing Alex Strouf's attempt to throw out the first pitch at the Chinooks game last night.
Oh, boy.
Was that Maddie?
No, that is his girlfriend.
Still? Are you sure? Is it still his girlfriend
As
this
far
morning?
as I know, they did go home together and remain together, but I don't know past that.
Now, let me ask you this, because you know him best. Is he just that unathletic, or is he leaning into this?
So just so we're aware, that was my first gut reaction. I was like, oh, he saw how much traction his struggles with the combine got, not just here at ESPN Milwaukee, but statewide. Some could argue nationwide. I had people who work at ESPN who were like, what's with the dude who can't run the cone drill? So it got some traction. It had some legs. There was a part of me that wondered if he was playing it up, knowing that, what do we always talk about, A or F? A's or F's, and this was an F. So that was my first gut reaction, was like, oh, this guy, he's playing for the camera, man. He's going to be that guy who can't do the things. But Joshy, you don't think that's the case.
No, not at all. I think he's ended up in a spot where he has an undying belief that he's capable of doing these athletic feats. I think the bonus of it is the attention that he gets from performing so poorly, but I think he set out on all of these to try and impress people, to make himself look better. Every time an athletic thing comes up, he has an undying belief that he's going to perform well. I think that same belief is the reason he's ended up where he is and how he, at such a young age, has gotten the opportunities is, yeah, I can do this. He doesn't have an imposter syndrome. It doesn't happen. There's no, I shouldn't be here. It's always, yeah, of course I can do
So
this.
he's wildly and delusionally confident.
Yes.
Is what we're saying.
Well, it's starting to affect the station because we're losing listeners. So I told him yesterday, as acting commissioner of the station, he is no longer allowed. It's a 1-year ban to touch any ball, any stick, any glove. He's not allowed to wear sneakers to work for 1 year.
I can't
and I
get
think
enough
that's
of it.
fair.
I can't get enough of it. I want it to keep happening. There is no seemingly depth of how low we can go. There's a fair expectation. No one expects you to deliver a heater right over the middle, perfect strike, but they expect vicinity.
Yeah, but this is like watching America's Funniest Videos when they're popping a goiter on someone's back. You just don't want to see it anymore. Am I right?
It really offends you. That's what I'm learning.
He's just delusional. And I get it. Kids just want to be involved. And I used to have them when I coached youth football and stuff like that. And if I had a kid like Alex, I'd say, you ever think of taking a band? Trombone, tuba?
So many options.
Yes. And that's where we're at.
I knew that it offended Chewy's sensibilities when we share stuff in the group text chain all the time. And occasionally Chewy will share some of his funny stories and we'll laugh about it and we'll weigh in. But for the most part, he does not react to our contributions, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair.
Totally fair.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yesterday, when the Alex Strouf video was shared amongst friends, Chewy immediately popped in, had a reaction, criticized it, and then started his own text chain with all of us and Alex Strouf and Ben Brust basically making that declaration. That's how I knew this had gone to another level. That's how I knew you were really, really bothered by the way his unathleticism is affecting the reputation of the station.
Because know your limitations. When you guys are having an intellectual conversation, I'm smart enough most times to stay out of it. Right? I stay out.
You're saying subject matter expert as a former professional athlete here. This is the time where your opinions are needed. And I have a hard time arguing.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it too much. I enjoy the fact that there's someone out there who's so delusional about their skill set that they say, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to deliver a strike. The haters are all wrong.
What is a sport it would be safe for him to play?
Okay.
We wouldn't be embarrassed.
I love this. I think we should do this. I think we should invite Alex Strofe to my daughter's T-ball. My 5-year-old is playing T-ball. My 7-year-old is playing baseball, coach pitch, right? And they start practices now on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I think Alex Strofe should tag along. I think you should tag along to Layla and Kira's T-ball slash coach pitch practices, and we should just run him through the paces. They got stations, right?
I think he would strike out. I really do. I think, number one, he would hit the bottom of the tee.
Which, yeah, you can't.
Which is a strike, and then he'd come over to I bet he would strike out.
I think so initially I worried about the health of the young 5 and 7-year-old children.
Yes.
And then I thought, what damage could he actually do? The floor is the expectation. So sure, he hits maybe a couple fast grounders at him. They could get out of the way.
Is croquet a sport?
Yeah. You want him to play,
can we allow him to play croquet?
You want to give him a mallet? You want to give him a mallet?
I'm just thinking a sport he could play and not be a complete embarrassment.
Well, we know running's out.
Yes.
We know throwing is out.
Mm-hmm.
Have we eliminated all of the sports just with those 2 criteria?
I mean, he looks like he'd be pretty good at Twister. Because he's long and lanky.
Gangly, yeah.
He's gangly.
That's not a sport.
I'm trying to find a sport. I don't know what it is.
Originally, I really wanted to put him, take him to Pettit National, put him in some gear. But I don't know if we'd get releases for that because the requisite amount of skill, we're talking broken bones potentially.
We walk into the Pettit and they're like, no, right?
Yeah.
They're giving us the
His face is on the wall.
And
Yes.
your reputation precedes you.
You're an
not
insurance
allowed.
liability.
800-990-3776. What sport do you feel comfortable throwing Alex Strofe into, thinking that there will not be any casualties? And by casualties, we mean Chewy's embarrassment, because that is right now where we are. Chewy is embarrassed to be associated with this station that also has Alex Strofe on the roster when he keeps going out there and performing like this. Look, we'll put the video on the YouTube stream again so people who are just catching up can see what we saw. It is also available on Twitter, on ESPN Milwaukee, on Alex Strofe's Twitter account. If you want to see what we saw and what has pushed Chewy to this point where he is forcing a boycott. He is saying you are not allowed to participate in sports unless it is under the direct supervision of ESPN Milwaukee colleagues.
There's one more video I want to show here, and this is from In the Stands. Now, behind Ben Brust, the mascot is there, and then there appears to be the bat dog, that runs out and gets the bats. The dog is left searching for the ball. This is a golden retriever. That's their whole thing. They retrieve and watch where balls go, and the dog is left in disbelief.
All right, put it up on the video. I actually haven't seen that one yet either, so go ahead and share that one. I mean, it looks like a rocket time, by the way.
Oh, my God!
And then he puts his hand up in the air like the character from The Breakfast Club as he's walking off the football field. Like, what are we doing, man?
Well, I told him if he files an appeal to my ruling, we are going to move him to the sister station, our sister station, The Truth, which has nothing to do with sports.
So he can't even talk about sports anymore.
How do you listen to the guy? I mean, I'd like to know his direction of how did you come to the realization that you wanted to spend the rest of your life in sports radio?
Seems like a pretty direct path. I'm a bad
Can we have
athlete,
him on?
So I want to talk. I'll get him to join us in the last segment of the show. I'll keep showing the videos and the breaks just so we can all be entertained in case people haven't seen it. But yeah, I mean, it seems like a direct path, doesn't it? You can't do the sports, so talk about it.
I agree. I agree. I stay away from spelling bees.
Right.
You know?
And you really do know your limitations. But,
Yeah, I do.
we got Jason Wilde coming up next year on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. There is a new list out of the top 10 coaches in the NFL. We will tell you where Matt Lafleur is on that list with Jason Wilde right after this. Stick around.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43, backing up right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Southbound still clear. Northbound 41, slow from Watertown Plank Road up past North Avenue. The southbound side just a little bit backed up from Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive. Remember, there is that off-ramp, that accident on the off-ramp to Capitol Drive that's still affecting the ride there. The rest of the system is looking pretty good. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden this summer. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times, great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy, warm, and humid. Chance for showers and storms, a high of 84 at the lake, 90 inland. Tonight, scattered showers and storms, a low of 69. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest, because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, June 19th to July 5th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Get tickets at summerfest.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows, binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on Warm Weather Vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take a shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5HEshot.com for full details and rules to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. The place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice, making margaritas with your favorite tequilas. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on spirits, beer, and wine. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt Lafleur soft all the time. Matt Lafleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Lots of reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and Text line to the Alex Strofe first pitch, if that's what we're going to call it. Haven't gotten to any of it yet, but we'll get to some of your comments as the show rolls on. Now we get to Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Did you see the Alex Strofe first pitch?
In 50 Cent Strofe's first pitch? Yeah.
50 Cent. Well, more like, I don't know, 10, 9. It's got to be very low.
So maybe I'm misremembering. Like, it's Carl Lewis who sang the national anthem so poorly, right?
Yeah.
But I swear, like 50 Cent, this is better than 50 Cent's first pitch, but I feel like it may have even been the Cubs. Josh, you fact check me on this. But I think 50 Cent has one of the worst first pitches in like first pitch history.
Mets.
And it was the Mets.
I just pulled up the video.
Yeah, it's bad, and it's not. And so, in fairness to Strofe, it could have been worse, right? It could have been like his 3-cone drill.
But the problem is, again, it's the way he approaches the activities with all the confidence in the world that it is going to go well. It's one thing if you go in and go, I don't know how this is going to go. Well, we're gonna see together type of thing. But he goes in genuinely believing that it is going to be exceptional. He told Ben Brust, who texted us on the private talk and text line, Ben Brust said, Strofe told me I may need to wear a mask in case it comes in too fast.
But Jason, is this you just don't know your limitations? Because I'll tell you why. Long snapping's a skill, right, Jason?
No doubt.
It's not easy to do. So I had a little Strofe in me where I thought I could hold for PATs and field goals. And I tried out for emergency quarterback, and none of them went well. And there was a little bit of delusion on my part. I think with Strofe, it's just, as I used to tell some of my kids in Pee Wee football, you ever think of band? I think that this is the case.
Yeah, you used the word I was going to use. I mean, I think he's just like, look, I love confidence, right? I don't love cockiness or overconfidence, but I want you to be confident. I want you to believe in yourself. I don't want you to be delusional. And I just like, there's part of me that wants to know if he does this, and I'm just not in on the joke, because when I watch the 3-cone drill, I mean, I still can't believe that that's really him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought, okay, this has got to be a bit, right? And now, like, does he get up to the mound and say, all right, well, if I throw like a Ben Johnson splitter, like Ben Johnson did throwing out his first pitch, it's not as funny as if I sail it and almost kill Gil the mascot. So I want to believe that I'm just not, he's just so good at selling the joke that I don't realize that he's way better than this. But at some point, the preponderance of evidence tells us that he just stinks.
Yeah. Jason, could Luke Musgrave be the secret weapon on this offense this year?
Absolutely, he could.
Yeah.
Like, I talk a lot about how many players need to elevate and are facing pivotal seasons a lot. And I think he's one of like a dozen of them that I would put on the list. Like, let's not forget how excited everybody was about him. Like, I remember that 2023 training camp, and like one of the storylines, like, can't remember if it was the NFL or somebody did how he was running at like 23 miles per hour or something. Like, he was their fastest player running in pads during practice. And he was going to be the guy that now Tucker Kraft has turned out to be. Now, all along, I think we had the opinion that while I may have compared Tucker to you, that Luke Musgrave was more the Keith Jackson, right? He wasn't the blocker that Tucker we felt could be, and the all-around tight end that you were. But if you have Tucker Kraft who's capable of that, just let Luke Musgrave be Luke Musgrave. And if he can, I mean, he's not as bad as Marshawn Lloyd in terms of bad luck injury-wise, but he's in the conversation, right? Like a lacerated kidney against the Chargers that not only, derailed his rookie season, but opened the door for Tucker Kraft to get more opportunities, because it was in that same game that Tucker Kraft had that ridiculous hurdle on the sideline, and we were like, oh, maybe this kid from South Dakota State's got a little something that we haven't seen yet. But on top of that, then, is the ankle injury last year. So, yes, I think he is one of those players that has been, I don't want to say forgotten, because obviously if you can remember him, that's a good sign. But he is certainly someone who can really help them in his third year. That did not help him a whole lot last year.
Jason Wilde hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. Jason, Pro Football Focus put out a list of the top returning NFL head coaches entering 2025. And a little suspiciously, Matt Lafleur not on the list. Where should he rank amongst the returning NFL head coaches?
Yeah, I saw that too. And we were having not the same debate because this hadn't come out yet, but we were talking, Tausch and I were, about the NFC North head coaches and where Lafleur ranks there. And personally, because look, Ben Johnson, I made this comparison. Ben Johnson right now is Mike Holmgren 1992, right? Mm-hmm. He is the hot candidate, the offensive guru who everyone wanted. And going back to last year, right, because he turned down opportunities with other teams last year and spent another year in Detroit, he's Mike Holmgren. Now, is he going to go and have the kind of 7-year run in Chicago that Holmgren had in Green Bay? I don't know. So he can't. We can't put him ahead of Lafleur right now. Obviously, he hasn't even coached a game. I still am. And maybe Dan Campbell will bite my kneecap and tell me I'm wrong. But I still don't know, with 2 new coordinators, if Dan Campbell is as good as we have given him credit for, right? Because his first year, didn't he start like 1-7?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And again, I was wrong about him. They've had a ton of success. I thought that the biting kneecaps, tough guy thing would have a shelf life with NFL players, and I was wrong. They've had a bunch of success, but I'd still rather have Lafleur. The only guy in the NFC North that I'd rather have than Lafleur is Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah,
I think Kevin O'Connell seems like he's got everything, right? He's got the connectivity with his players. He's got the really smart offensive concepts and play calling. I really like Kevin O'Connell. Like, if I was covering the Vikings, I know I would really enjoy talking with him. So, and I'm pretty sure that Dan Campbell is on that list, right? So I would put Lafleur in the Dan Campbell spot, which I'm trying to picture it when I scrolled past it. Was he 8th?
Yeah, he was down there on the list. I'll pull it up again in front of me, so I have it in front of me. But
that's
yes,
fine.
he did make the list, but he was now near the bottom.
That's kind of where I'd put him. Yeah, I would put him, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in the second half of the top 10.
Jason, is Sean Clifford going to make this team?
Good question. Because, obviously they did not feel uber confident in him last year that they went and acquired Malik Willis. And then Malik Willis, to his credit, played really, really good football for them. I do think that we maybe have overestimated. But speaking of Matt Lafleur, Matt Lafleur put together game plans, which I think is the mark of a good coach, that allowed his backup quarterback to be successful. Didn't ask him to do too much, but didn't ask him to just hand the ball off 100 times during those 2 games, right? I mean, the Tennessee game, he had to make some plays. The win over Jacksonville, when he went into the second half, he made a hell of a throw to Jaden Reed. So I wouldn't want to see, and maybe I'm wrong about this too, like I was wrong about Dan Campbell, but I'm not convinced, after essentially the equivalent of 3 games, right, 2 starts and then a couple of halves, one against Jacksonville, one against the Bears in the finale. I'm not convinced that he'd be like a 10-game winner as a 17-game starter for somebody else. I could be wrong, and he could prove me wrong and shut me up on that. But there were people that seemed to think, after what he did last year, Packers should trade him for like a 3rd-round pick to somebody who needs a starting quarterback. I'm not that, head over heels for Malik Willis. I do like him, and I like what he's about. But, yeah, Sean Clifford is like they kept him as the 3rd quarterback on the practice squad. But remember, they cut both him and the 7th-round pick, Michael Pratt, last year, and Pratt got picked up by the Buccaneers. He signed with their practice squad. I wonder how close that call was for them, and if Pratt said, no, I want to see if I can find something somewhere else. So, I don't know if, and I always think of Jen when I pronounce his name because she gave us the phonetic assist of Taylor Elgersma. He feels like he's pretty far away, having just picked up football in the 10th grade in Canada. So I'm curious, I would think that Sean Clifford would have to struggle to a pretty big degree to lose out to the Canadian import.
Well,
that's just my feeling.
The one detail that I think people kind of forget about is that in the past with Tom Clements there, he could kind of get his hands on these guys, and you might expect some jumps in development and whatnot. Obviously, not saying Sean Mannion can't do that, but we all sort of held Tom Clements in pretty high regard when it comes to QBs. So it'll be interesting to see how all that shakes out with that transition as well.
Yeah, and look, maybe Sean Mannion, especially for Love, is exactly like now it's time for a different type of quarterbacks coach, and maybe that's the case here. So maybe it's actually a good thing for Love. What it is for those other guys, I'm not sure, but that's a good point. That obviously, if you're developing a guy, I don't think there's anybody you'd rather have than Tom Clements.
Before we let you go, Jason, how much of the Miz's outing did you catch yesterday at AmFam Field? We will talk about it as the show rolls on, but it was pretty electric out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just saw highlights. I did not see a single second of it. I can't watch Paul Skeens because every time I watch him, I hear Tausch mispronouncing his name as Paul Skeenis, which rhymes with another word. And so I can't keep a straight face. But that is exactly the word I was hoping, Dolores, you would come up with there. Yes, well done.
All right, Jason, have a good one. We will talk to you again soon.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde can be heard on Wilde and Tausch right after our very program here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. All right, we still got to get to Skeens v. The Miz yesterday. Brewers walked out of there with a win to a sellout crowd at AmFam Field. We will talk about that. But I also want to dive into that list. Pro Football Focus lists the top 10 returning coaches in the NFL, and Matt Lafleur nowhere to be found. We'll discuss that as we roll on here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Finding the right home is a journey. Sometimes it's quick. Sometimes you got to be patient, but it should always be exciting. The We Sell group at Keller Williams knows that. They're not just about closing deals. They're about building relationships and helping you find the right fit. Rob and Nick have been incredibly patient with us on our journey. Also informative and available throughout. It is so clear that their passion is working with the people. Whether you're ready to move right now or you're just starting to look, or maybe you're thinking about selling, the We Sell group is on the journey with you every step of the way. Start your journey today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got some delays along northbound 41 from just before Mayfair Road all the way up past Capitol. Southbound slowing down from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol as well. Northbound 43 slowing around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Southbound 43 backing up just south of Good Hope Road, and that'll take you slow right through the Silver Spring area. And check out the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today. Partly cloudy skies Warm and humid, a chance for showers and storms, a high of 84 at the lake, 90 inland tonight. Scattered showers and storms, a low of 69. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an East Side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaukee County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens in Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You called them a white stiff earlier. From one white stiff to another? I'm pretty well versed in the realm of stiffs.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Hit it!
Keep getting us your reaction to Alex Stroke's first pitch last night at the Chinooks game. We have posted it on our YouTube stream. We have posted it on social media. It is available for you to watch, but proceed with caution.
Has anybody gotten a bigger win than the Chinooks?
Yeah, I was going to say, you think they watched the combine video and said, this guy could be good because he'll be a train wreck? And you think it worked out better for them?
Yeah, advertisement.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I thought he was campaigning for the first pitch. It wasn't like they came to him, right?
So he was campaigning, but they had somebody who listened and reached out in pursuit of it. So there's a little we know, you know, let's make it happen.
Little wink thing here happening. All right, let's get to this list. Pro Football Focus putting out the list of the top 10 returning head coaches in the NFL. Josh, give me a little NFL music here as Chewy is going to try to guess the top 10. You're pretty good at this stuff, Chewy. I have a feeling you're going to not necessarily nail every spot, but I feel like you're going to get the top 10 for the returning head coaches in the NFL. Go ahead.
Son of a buck. Andy Reid,
number one on the list.
2. I mean, I guess
You're putting
you
a lot of pressure on yourself.
No,
You don't
I know.
have to nail the numbers.
Okay. They probably have Sirianni 2 just because 2 Super Bowls in 3 years.
He is on the list. He is not number 2. I believe he's pretty far down on
Is
the,
he
again,
really?
relatively speaking, top 10. They've got him at 8 on this list.
Okay. Shanahan.
Shanahan is 7 on the list.
Yeah. I mean, Tomlin is probably still on it, but it's what have you done for me lately? He's getting to the point in his career, like, all right, time to make some noise here.
Tomlin is 5 on the list.
Okay. O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell is not on the list.
That's terrible. Should be. Hold on. Probably have McVay.
McVay is on the list. He is number 3 on the list.
Probably John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh is number 4 on the list.
Can you reset it?
You got Andy Reid, Sean McVay, John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, Kyle Shanahan, Nick Sirianni. You're missing another bro.
Yeah, his brother probably, Jim Harbaugh.
He's on the list at number 6.
After
So you
1
need-
year, though? Has that been 1 year?
They may be taking into account his time with the 49ers.
Yeah, maybe.
I would imagine so.
Dan Campbell.
It is on the list, as we discussed with Jason a few moments ago. He is number 9 on the list. You have number 2 remaining, and you have number 10 remaining.
10 is probably Houston.
It's not Houston.
2? Who the heck is... Hold on.
2, I don't think deserves to be there.
Oh, Buffalo.
No, not on the list. Tell me when you give up.
This is a what have you done for me lately guy.
Hold on. Probably Cincinnati.
No.
Well, right, no. Kevin Stefanski for the Browns is number 10 on the list. I think you're going to kick yourself over number 2, though. Sean Payton, Broncos. Now, again, that is obviously because of what he has mostly done with the Saints, but he did have success last year with Bo Nix and the Broncos.
How do you put Stefanski on the list?
That's a great question.
How?
I have
2
no
years
idea.
ago, it was one of the top, I think it was like top 3 rosters in the NFL, and he did nothing with it. What the who that?
So here's what it says. I'll read you reading on the radio. Stefanski, there it is, broke the Browns' long playoff drought in 2020 and picked up the franchise's first playoff win since re-entering the league in 1999. He led a surge to the postseason in 2023 with Joe Flacco as his quarterback from Week 14 onward. He has proven he can succeed if given adequate offensive tools. The team needs to provide him with that to complement his excellent defense.
So you're taking him over Lafleur and O'Connell?
Yes.
That's stupid. Who did this, Strouf?
Strofe and no Pro Football Focus. And look, we have had issues at times with Pro Football Focus. You could also make the argument that these lists are simply put out there to, irate fan bases.
Yeah.
By putting Stefanski on there, they guarantee people will go, huh? Record scratch here. But I think it's interesting when we were talking to Jason about the way that Matt Lafleur stacks up against some of the other coaches in the division. Because let's just go very simply head to head. Dan Campbell has a 5-2 record against Matt Lafleur head to head. Meanwhile, Kevin O'Connell has a 3-2 record against Matt Lafleur head to head. Now, I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but it doesn't bode well for a guy like Matt Lafleur. I think to your point, Chu, when you talk about Kevin Stefanski being in this 10th spot, I think Kevin O'Connell Joshy might have a case to be put there above Matt Lafleur at the 10 spot.
I certainly think he has a case to be there. I think he probably would need a little more for me to feel comfortable about it. But when you think about expectations versus production and the reality of what he's created there, it's hard to argue that he's not one of the next up on the list. I have a hard time. Stefanski to me doesn't make any sense. That feels like we're giving you the benefit of having such a poor roster recently that even you being fine with it is overcoming something. And I think Sean Payton To me, he's Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, that's a good comp.
It's just like, why does one guy? Is it because Mike McCarthy's a bigger dude and says some funny things, and Sean Payton's kind of an ass? Like, what's the reputation there?
I look at, okay, how far have you gone in the playoffs in your tenure or wherever you coached? And have you done more with what you have on the roster? So then I put Lafleur in there. Even though, he's went to 2 NFC championship games, playoffs every year, did an amazing job Jordan's first year starting, I just, I don't like this. I don't like this list one bit. And then McDermott in Buffalo. I mean, they choke a lot, but they're always relevant. The regular season, they're very good. Kind of does a lot. Does more with not a lot. I mean, he's got Josh Allen, but can you guys even name his receivers?
Well, but see, that's where I would fall. This, to me, feels a little like what we have said Matt Lafleur falls victim to, which is when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, and I'm not saying Josh Allen will be in the Hall of Fame, but it is trending that way. When you have a guy like that, then the question is, how do you split up the pie? How do you cut the pie? How much of his success is due to having Josh Allen under center and his ability to move the chains, make plays, throw the team on his back? That has always been a criticism for Matt Lafleur when Aaron Rodgers was under center. And now that Jordan Love is under center and he's not at the same level as Rodgers, that's when you start to wonder about Matt LaFleur's ability to hang with the rest of this list. Look, some of this is favoritism, right?
Yeah.
I think you're right about Harbaugh. I think that Jim Harbaugh could certainly have a very successful and long career in the NFL, similar to how it was when he was with the 49ers. But he hasn't yet. Right? I mean,
no.
Enough to be considered a top 10. Some of that might be his college success, winning a national championship at Michigan. Some of it. Again, I don't know what the criteria was for putting this list together.
I mean, how long do you still get credit for a Super Bowl? I mean, because if you look at Tomlin, it's been how long? 15 years? Been a long time. McVay. That's 15 years. It
does feel like it carries the day a little, though, doesn't it, guys? It feels like the Super Bowl, either appearance or win, carries the day. Nobody's arguing with Andy Reid, right? We don't have anybody out here who's saying that there should be somebody above Andy Reid, right?
Yeah.
So that's done.
Who was 2?
Sean Payton.
That's a joke. Come on. What are we doing? Yeah.
I will say he is well regarded around the league.
He is.
He's like very well regarded from an offensive standpoint.
But to be number 2,
ability. Who would you have 2? Would you go Harbaugh? And I'm not saying Jim. I'm talking John.
I would probably go Harbaugh. Yeah. But there's another 15 years? How long has it been since they beat his brother in New Orleans?
Is there a clear separation between the Harbaugh, McVay, Shanahan camp?
Well, so Shanahan is being carried by, because again, splitting the pie, they gave him all of those weapons for several years, right? They were building the Avengers out there in San Francisco. We all think that Shanahan is a good coach, but to your point about choking, Chew.
Yeah.
There have been some choke jobs there.
Yeah, but
it doesn't feel like they're getting penalized for choke jobs.
I do feel like he elevates his roster even with the amount of talent they have there. He's also pretty instrumental in acquiring of players. They have a much closer marriage than we're familiar with here in Green Bay.
I mean, I'm putting D'Amico Ryans on the list somewhere as well. I mean, they're up. They were a little injury snake bit last year.
To me, that's not a long enough resume.
I agree.
It's a thin resume. It's a good resume, but it's thin. Again, it feels like there's an algorithm here that is taking into account tenure, that is taking into account Super Bowl, either appearances or wins. And Matt LaFleur doesn't have any of those, right?
He does have one of the best all-time winning percentages for a head coach.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, at some point,
I think
obviously,
third, I think I read on this list.
Yeah. Like, at some point, the Aaron Rodgers factor is a piece of some of that early success, but you also have to factor in the different player Aaron Rodgers became in that time. And then the ability to turn around midseason a team that was sending off assets because they thought the playoffs were a far shot. And then you go in and just absolutely dominate the Cowboys.
But how much weight do you put on the regular season? Because Matt Lafleur's playoff resume is better than Dan Campbell's.
Yeah.
So how much do you put?
I think it's probably I think playoffs, just the nature of one and done, things can go wrong. You can be affected by injuries that I think the regular season tells us a lot. As much as it's not winning the Super Bowl or advancing, over the course of 17 games, you kind of figure out who's who and what they're capable of.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be the majority of sort of the pie, and the way you separate from the clump of other teams is what do you do in the playoffs? How successful are you? Do you consistently take your team above expectations, or are you constantly a team that is one of the letdowns?
800-990-3776. That's how you can get to us on the Carbless talk and text line. Matt Lafleur not on Pro Football Focus's list of the top 10 returning NFL head coaches. Should he be? Where would you slot him? Take a look at the list. It is on Pro Football Focus. We have rattled it off here a few times. Not a lot of surprises. Stefanski might be the one that we're scratching our head at a little bit. Would you put Matt Lafleur as a top 10 coach in the NFL right now? We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on. Still a lot more to get to, including recapping the Miz's outing yesterday as the Brewers beat the Pirates, and your reaction to Alex Strouf's first pitch at the Chinooks game last night. That's next.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York. Evan Cohen here. According to a recent ZipRecruiter survey, 76% of employers plan to expand headcount for 2025. If you're one of these employers, add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It does most of the work for you, so you save time. Just pick a time and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. You can even meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
The Protect the Package Golf Outing takes place on August 16th at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems, installation of new or old hoops, and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Two Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new Fried Bologna Sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate, when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at Discount Liquor.
It's the world's largest music festival, and you'll be there compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. There is no other party like Summerfest. So get the fun started by stopping in to Discount Liquor. When you buy any one 12-pack of Blue Moon or Blue Moon Light, or any one 12-pack of Arnold Palmer Spiked Hard Tea, you'll receive a free Summerfest ticket. Visit us at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and in Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
See us for your free Summerfest ticket and check out our specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Tuna. It's tuna.
I love tuna. I had some last night.
How do you eat your tuna?
Can we, for once, grow up on this show?
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you're buying or building a new home, Great Midwest Bank helps you every step of the way. Great Midwest Bank has taken care of us at every turn, and they will do the same for you. Your next big life decision, Great Midwest Bank should be there. They are local loan officers from start to finish. They can help you bank with confidence. Great Midwest Bank is your simply local equal housing lender. See all of their customizable products at greatmidwestbank.com. That's greatmidwestbank.com. Well, I guess we have an old update. We got an update? What do we got?
On the package. Breaking news. Yes. My neighbor Gregor says he will deliver the packages. Now, Gregor is my lifeline.
Nicer than you.
I got more time than me. He has more time. Now, granted, he's
How is that even
retired.
possible?
He's retired, but
so he doesn't have to work 2 hours a day.
Gregor is my lifeline for when I damage stuff. Gregor keeps it from getting to Angie. Okay? Because I break some things every now and then. So, good story here. And I entertain Gregor, I think. So, we were down by my boat one time. And I was talking to Greg, and I was ready to take off on the boat, and he's walking away. Well, you know how there's a rubber bumper around the boat?
Yeah.
I didn't know it looped underneath the motor.
Oh.
So I start to drive away, and all of a sudden you hear a zzz. It ripped the rubber bumper off of the entire boat and wrapped itself around the prop.
Oh, my God.
So it stopped Greg in his tracks. He knew it was me. He didn't immediately turn around. He just kind of slowly looked back and said, I've never heard that sound before in my life. And he fixed it.
He
before
did.
it got to the general.
Did he climb in the water and from the propeller?
Yeah.
Oh, good
so
for him.
He's there to keep me from getting into the soup.
Uh-huh.
Are you his blammer?
Entertainment-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there was another time that I hit a big rock with my lawnmower. Now, I have my headsets on, so I have the music cranked so I don't have to. The blade was hitting the metal part of the deck, making the loudest noise in the neighborhood. And I looked over, and he's just sitting there with his arms crossed. And I'm like, what? He said, take the headset. Wow, was that loud.
You couldn't feel it?
No.
Wow.
No. So he fixed that.
What an observation by our guy Joshy, though.
Yeah. I guess I am his blammer.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I got no problem. Yeah.
He's going to get you out of the soup with the packages. He's going to deliver the package. So he's going to swing over to your spot, pick them up, pop it into the old GPS, deliver each of these packages to their...
And he's perfect. He's got one of those 6x6s, doesn't even need to take the car, with the dump back to it and...
Like a four-wheeler type
Yeah, like
of
a
thing?
four-wheeler type of thing, and he'll buzz around the
ATV
lake and
type
deliver the...
of- UTV is probably the right word, right?
Yeah. The people think he works for
You know
Amazon.
what's crazy, Joshy? Everything always works out for our guy.
It does.
Everything always sort of works out for our guy. Now, let me ask you a question, though. Do you owe Gregor now? Do you keep like a running tally
I
of
pay him in food, or I pay him...
In entertainment, kind of like the blammer.
Yeah. He loves red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll swing by, grab him a bottle on the way home.
Yeah. Well, what I've learned here is it takes a village to support Chewy. It takes an absolute support system that's
really
going to
does.
keep him afloat.
We got Gabe, who's out today.
Right.
Yeah.
Gabe is a part of that support system. You got Gregor. You got the Blammer. Are we missing anybody?
Ange.
Do you think
Obviously.
this is all part of my master plan?
Yes.
Oh,
I
I'm not
agree.
going to give you that much credit.
I think it to a degree. It's there's a term for it called weaponized incompetence.
Kind of like that.
You purposely use things like, well, I'm no good at this, so if I just screw it up, someone else will fix it.
Yeah.
So Gregor says
Problem
it.
solved.
It's not a compliment, you buffoon.
Thanks, Gregor.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Things slowing down on southbound 43 now from just before Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. Northbound is slowing down from Kilbourne up to Keefe. Westbound 94, you got backups from 17th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from Highway 100 to the county line. Eastbound slowing from 92nd Street to about Hawley Road, and then a little bit more right through the stadium interchange. So give yourself some extra time. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy, warm and humid. Chance for showers and storms, a high of 84 at the lake, 90 inland. Then tonight, scattered showers and storms, a low of 69. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Set sail this June for a boundless bounty at Potawatomi. Come aboard, and you might win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Boundless bounty this June at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot Wisconsin sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $400 off your awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
This is the extent of my money. I have a credit card.
Yep.
And I have one of those cards where you can get money out of the ATMs.
Okay.
That's it. I don't know how anything else works.
It's a debit card.
Well, I'll tell you. A nice greeting card can really lift a person's spirits.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, Jack.
Yeah, she puts $10 in every card for my birthday. That's why I save them.
No, it's not a debit card because can't you like use it at the grocery store and stuff like that?
Yeah, the debit card is the
Still a debit card.
Yeah. Debit card has.
No, I don't. I've never used it as that. No, I've never used it. The only thing I use that card for is to go to the ATM and carry cash.
There's a check in all these? Why don't you cash them?
I don't know. It's $10.
Yeah, but you got a whole pile here. Look at it. 1987?
Oh, so what?
Are you
Hold on, what do
aware?
you use a debit card for? So you can go. Just let me ask you this.
Yep.
You can go and use that like a credit card at the store.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it just
then
takes.
What the hell do you need a credit card for?
Oh, this is tantamount to a slap in the face.
Oh, get out of here.
Jerry, a gift not enjoyed is like a flower that doesn't blossom.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Let us know where Matt Lafleur ranks in the NFL returning head coaches list. Pro Football Focus just put out a list. Matt Lafleur not on it in its top 10. Egregious omission or fair? Let us know, 800-990-3776. We will also get to your reaction to Alex Strouf's first pitch. Lots of people lining up to weigh in on what sport Alex Strouf should be allowed to participate in after his disastrous first pitch last night at the Chinooks game. And speaking of pitching, holy Holy moly. Another outing by Jacob Mizorowski for the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday, going head-to-head against Paul Skeens of your Pittsburgh Pirates. And look, this game had all of the hype. It was a sellout crowd at AmFam Field. It was electric. Our guy Gabe Neitzel was out there posting videos from the game. I don't think I've ever seen AmFam Field like that for a regular season game. Joshy, you got some audio from the game. You got some highlights from the game yesterday?
I sure do. The one thing I do want to mention that I found exceptionally impressive was this was a more attended game than opening day, which is usually one of the bigger ones. It was a Wednesday at 1 p.m., and Brewers fans showed out in such a way to watch, I think, a game that totally delivered.
Totally.
And yeah, I'd love for us to hear some of the sounds of the Miz on the mound.
The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Breaking ball down and away. And what a start for the Miz here this afternoon. Listen to this crowd.
Yeah, the crowd was incredible. It was popping. I watched it on television. It was definitely popping through the television. Like I said, Gabe was there if you want to check out any of his videos. Chewy, your reaction yesterday, you actually got to watch some of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see the Miz and his, triple-digit stuff going up against one of the best pitchers in the game right now in Paul Skeens, and it wasn't even close. The Miz absolutely outdueled Paul Skeens yesterday.
All right, first, you got to balance it out.
OMG.
Okay, you got to balance it out because
Big poopers here.
Because Pittsburgh's offense is the Tennessee Titans. The Brewers' offense, give me a comp, is whose offense? Because everything goes back to the NFL.
Well, they're not a top offense in the National League,
So
but they
Pittsburgh's-
are hot right now.
Pittsburgh's at the bottom or near the bottom. And let's just say the Brewers are the middle of the pack. So before he outdueled, let's just pump the brake.
No, but he did chew. I know you're saying that their lineup stinks. So it was easier for him to get 8 strikeouts than it was for Skeens to sit down some of these Brewers guys who are hot right now. I understand that. But Skeens looked rattled.
He did. And Miz did look much. I'm just blown away on how his off-speed stuff and his secondary and third pitches are still 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, and that's the one big thing about him is it's not just that he's throwing 100, 102, 101 with regularity and making it look easy. It's that his breaking stuff is good and very hard to hit. That front side, front door slider / cutter, the Miz, as Levering named it, right-handed hitters had no idea what to do with it.
No, but even his curve is at 90.
He was making professional baseball hitters, now not all the best, but I mean, O'Neal Cruz is one of the young phenoms. He's not the best at contact, but he, against the Brewers, he hit the all-time hardest hit ball in StatCast history. That guy is good at the sport. And they have Andrew McCutchen out there who's playing fairly well this season. They have talent. It's just the way he approaches the game, Mizorowski, is you can tell he doesn't, the moment isn't at any point big for him.
And I thought it might have been yesterday, but it's not.
No. It seems like he has the utmost confidence, and sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and his youth certainly probably helps at this point. But at no point did I think, even when he got the 2 runners on situation, was I there's nothing we can do here? No, he's going to deliver his pitches. He's going to throw them well, and he has the upper hand on all the hitter.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he gave up a leadoff walk, right?
Yep.
First hitter in the lineup, boom, walks him. And I was going, okay, dial it in. Let's lock this down. He ended up with 2 walks for the game.
Correct.
And that leadoff walk got to third. And I was going, oh, shoot, that's going to score a run. Brewers are going to be down, and it doesn't help that I had a little money on the outcome of the first inning.
Here we go.
Little tie action over at my friends at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, so I was paying very close attention to this. But he got out of it. That, to me, was the sign of most young pitchers walk the first guy. He gets over to third, and there may have been 2 outs at the time. But either way, maybe it was 1 out. Either way, threatening to a run in the first inning. Most guys would get rattled by that. He doesn't. And so there's a lot of things to like about what's going on. A 3-0 record, a 1.13 ERA in those 3 starts. He struck out 19, only allowed 3 hits, and he has 7 walks over 16 innings. So even when he first took the mound, Joshy, and we were worried that maybe the walks were going to be an issue for him, he has locked it up. And so the even marginal improvement for a guy who is already expected to be a top tier, what were we looking at yesterday, Joshy? His Rookie of the Year odds at Potawatomi have sunk like a rock.
Yeah, he's now the prohibitive favorite. He's minus 129. Yesterday, it was plus 175. And a week ago, it was around the plus 700 number. He's delivered in a way that I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's been 3 starts. We're getting excited. But this doesn't really happen. And I don't know if there's much precedence within the Brewers and across the league. There's been guys who've come up and certainly impressed, but he's given up 3 hits in 3. He has 3 wins. The strikeout numbers in this one, I think, got inflated because it is the Pirates. They have a tendency to swing and miss, but it's absolutely composed out there, and it starts making you think well, I feel a lot better about a playoff series if you got a guy like that on the mound.
So, do we need to think bigger? Do we need to think Cy Young?
I need to look up the requirements for him to be a Cy Young. It'd be hard to beat Paul Skeens, who's the best pitcher in baseball right now, even though the Brewers got to him and gave him his worst inning of the season so far by scoring 4 runs. He's not quite there yet because we also don't know what the Brewers are going to limit him in terms of innings and pitches thrown. They do that with young guys because they don't throw a whole lot until they get to the big leagues. You're trying to protect their arms, prolong them, and try and avoid any long-term, you don't want him missing for Tommy John at 23 years old. So I don't know if he'll meet the thresholds to be there, but it seems like Rookie of the Year is a shoo-in.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, we need to start really thinking we might have another Cy Young like we did in Corbin.
I'm already moved on to the trade deadline.
To qualify for the Cy Young Award and be eligible for the ERA title, a pitcher needs to pitch at least 162 innings. That's the standard threshold used to determine statistical leaders in earned run average, according to MLB.com. Go ahead, Shu.
But I'm already on to the trade deadline because once they get Woodruff back, all right, that's a solid.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm
really glad you brought that up because ESPN.com put out an article just earlier this week that had Freddie Peralta with the 4th best odds in the league. I believe it was league. I don't think it was National League. I think it was all MLB being traded.
He was only 20% to be traded, but he was the 4th highest.
Thank you.
Option.
Yes. 4th. Yes. Sorry. The odds were not right. Yes. Right. It was the 4th highest percentage of a guy to be traded at the trade deadline. And probably because we heard that news last week about how Freddie had asked for an extension or had approached the Brewers about an extension and was basically told no.
Yeah. And I mean, he's coveted. He's extremely good. He's going to be an all-star. He's a guy that, had it not be for Paul Skeens, would probably be close to the running and a couple good starts away from actually having a chance at it. He's pitching that well. I have a hard time seeing the Brewers trade him this season with the way the season is going.
Yeah.
I think they would do probably a Willie Adames style thing and just say, hey, it's probably better for us and we can take a team farther with him, even though we're not going to get a whole lot on the back end, because it does seem like teams are kind of willing to give up less and less now at the trade deadline for a guy they know they can't guarantee is going to be there long term. Because a lot of those things, once you get traded, those guys often will end up on a 3rd team when the new season starts.
So then you're buyers at the trade deadline.
There's been a case for the Brewers to be involved in a lot of the third base stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I think Joey Ortiz is playing much better, I just think you would want some security there, and it sort of frees him up to work on stuff, be a multi-use utility type of guy. At that, they want more power. The Brewers are not hitting home runs, and they certainly are winning without doing that. But it makes it a lot easier if one swing puts some runs on the board instead of having to grind out, steal bases, take extra bases on balls hit into the field.
Yeah, but with Woodruff coming back, that's 3 solid arms where you're going to keep runs down. You don't need to score 7, 8
Correct.
Yeah,
runs,
and I got to be honest with
right?
you, I'm pretty excited about that potential rotation of The Miz, Freddie Peralta, Jose Quintana, Chad Patrick, and I assume Woodruff slots in there?
Yeah. And once you get to the playoffs, you don't need more.
No, of course you'll shrink, obviously,
Yeah.
but for the remainder of the season, you know, since we're not at the All-Star break yet, that feels. And again, has there been a timeline on Woodruff? Have we seen now?
I don't know. Last I heard is probably the update we got from Levering, where he was going to be doing some rehab starts. I mean, there's no reason to rush him back at this point.
Brandon Woodruff once again is on the cusp of a Major League Baseball return. That's what the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel says.
My edict with the Bears, I don't care. I'm not listening to the gush. In the offseason, we gotta have complete faith in this front office, because I remember after the season, everyone's like, oh, Ananasio doesn't spend money, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? This front office figures it out. They're in a great position.
And I hear you, but then what's the expectation, Chu? Make the playoffs, make a run?
I tell you, if Woodruff comes back and he's close to where he was, with luck, because baseball, I think, takes a lot of luck, they can do it. They trade, maybe get a bat. They
what?
can do it.
You keep saying
win it all.
Really?
Win it all. Win it all. Why not? Look at Arizona. Arizona won it a couple years ago. They were nothing special.
And I told you, I changed my tune. I've changed my approach, my philosophy with baseball. There have been seasons where I've gone, I'm just going to wait until the postseason. Like, I'm going to wait until the end of the year, like, and get excited about it. I'll sort of drift in and drift out. Like, that was no fun. This is more fun. Being there and living and dying by every pitch. And I know gave us the song and dance a few weeks ago when we were talking about the Cubs series and how it wasn't, you can't have a big series in June. It's as big as I want to make it.
Yeah.
That's where I am right now. It's as big as I want to make it. And yesterday's game with the Miz on the mound and Paul Skeens on the mound was as big as baseball saw yesterday. All eyes of the sport were on Milwaukee and AmFam Field. That was cool.
I'm eyeball now. I mean, my eyeball is Saturday, Sunday at the lake. The Brewers are on the back TV, watch an inning, go do this, come back, watch another inning. I'm in. You got me. The hook is in.
Yeah, I tweeted it. I think, obviously, we have the guys, the Shohei Ohtanis of the world, but Mizorowski's appointment viewing, where people are going out of their way to say, like, I can't think of a guy that is more exciting, and certainly I have the homerness to it, but, I mean, he's given up 3 total hits in 3 starts. He's on no-hitter watch every time he goes out there, and until that stops being the norm, I'm going to view it as I need to be there and I need to see this. I need to clear the plans to watch Miz.
And this is going to sound crazy, but we always talk about how a guy goes out there and he's new and there's not a lot of tape on him. They only have him against minor leaguers. But then after the first few times he's out there, then every other opponent has film on a guy and you can sort of pick up his tendencies. Good luck. He could tell you what's coming. Maybe not where it's going to be in the strike zone or where it's going to be, but like it's 100+ mile an hour pitch. Yeah. You still got to catch up to it.
Yeah,
what are most pitchers' sliders?
Not 96. They're probably low 90s, high 80s.
Wow.
I mean, I was thinking 88 for whatever reason was jumping to my mind for a slider, but
yeah, that pitch is, and that's the difference between, he's not just a hard thrower. The stuff, and there's an actual stat of like a stuff rating, is some of the best in the league with the movement he's getting while the ball's coming at unprecedented speeds for a starter.
We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Let us know what your excitement level is for the Miz and for the Brewers. And are you buying what Chewy is selling, which is to say, if Woodruff comes back and is close to where he was before the injuries, this is a team that could win it all. And this is our pump the brakes, no gush guy. So you know it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on right after this.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we got an accident eastbound 94 right at the ramp from Hawley Road. It is off on the right shoulder, so heads up with that. Delays obviously coming in from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium. Westbound's going to be a bit heavy from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes from Highway 100 to about Elm Grove Road. Southbound 41 heavy from Good Hope Road down to about Hampton. The northbound side slowing just north of Watertown Plank Road, and that'll take you all the way up to Hampton. And then on southbound 43, backing up from just before Good Hope Road past Silver Spring. Northbound slowing from just before Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy, warm and humid, a chance of showers and storms. A high of 84 at the lake, 90 inland. Tonight, scattered showers and storms, a low of 69. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then, the first 25,000 fans at the game on Saturday, June 28th, get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Erica, it's good to see you.
How are things at our amazing Germantown location?
Absolutely fantastic. We heard you had a bold idea. What is it?
We're celebrating our 45th year in business, so I think we should give away some natural diamonds. Wow, that is a bold idea. How many and how big? 3/4 of a carat. 9 natural diamonds, each one clarity enhanced for maximum brilliance. 1 diamond for each store.
How should we mount them, Erica?
We'll give them away as diamond pendants.
So each of the 9 Kessler stores will have their own diamond pendant to give away?
Yeah, and all a person will have to do is to walk into a store and register to win. Can a person travel to all 9 stores and register at each one? Yeah, why not? And people will have from now until July 28th to register.
I'm in.
Me too.
It's unanimous, and people should bring in all their old jewelry so that we can professionally clean it for them for free.
That makes so much difference.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
With more than 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Look, you take Jesus and the presents out, and it's not even in the top 10.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you take sex out of the anniversary, then that's not that fun either.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Alex Strofe is going to join the show shortly.
I got a couple questions.
And we were talking about The Miz and how I swung over to Potawatomi to put some bets on. Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, known for its endless ways to win. Friday, June 27th, coming right up. They're showing why that's the standard with the highly anticipated season finale blockbuster drawings. You've been playing Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty. Now watch those drawings roll into $300,000 in cash and prizes, which is up for grabs. Be there to win your share, June 27th, only at Potawatomi. More information is available online. Must be 21 years old to play. Is there any way to figure out where the Brewers rotation ranks right now in the National League? Like, is there any way to sit there and go with this group of guys? And again, I know we're projecting Brandon Woodruff, but is there any way, Joshy, of knowing like where they would rank
I know ESPN sometimes puts out power rankings of teams and whatnot, and I am talking rotation specific because I think Gabe has mentioned this to us before. The way the offense is performing right now, this is a high for them, right? There were questions about their ability to maintain consistency, but right now it does feel like they are firing on all cylinders. They're getting production from a number of different guys. We obviously have talked about what Christian Yelich has been doing, and even when he doesn't have the big games, there is a long list of players who are figuring out how to get on base and then move runners around and get them in. This just feels different right now, Chew. And again, you are our don't get too high, don't get too low person, but it feels like it's safe to get excited about this Milwaukee's Brewers team. Do you buy that, or is it, hey, Jen, same old, you're just going to be disappointed in the end?
No, I buy it. And I just looked at the power rankings. They're 10, up from 11. So they're in the mix. No, I know it's a long season. A lot of things can happen. But it's a lot like football. A lot of teams, the hottest team at the end of the year winds up winning the thing. And that's not how it happens every year, but it certainly does. But they're coming together. They're coming together. I like where they're at right now. They're fairly healthy, right? They could stand to add a piece.
We've got some injuries, right? We're still watching the Garrett Mitchell thing. I think what did Levering tell us the other day, that he's going to have another surgery on that shoulder?
But I mean, like, they have the Cubs at 4. I mean, are the Cubs that much better than the Brewers? I don't think so.
No, and when you look at it, especially with team pitching staffs, you can certainly correct for just like the starting rotation versus all the bullpen. And there's different ways to go about it. Like they're 11th in team ERA right now. And that is obviously with some of the spot starts you've needed from some guys that haven't really been able to be out there. You can also look at things like, team whip, which is walks, hits, and innings pitched. It's a number that kind of tells you and gives you a good ranking. And the Brewers are near the top or better than most in a lot of those advanced metrics that you look at, to not get too weedsy on it. But like an ERA is a pretty good measure, and it would seem like the Brewers are near the top 10, and that's not them at full strength for the majority of the season. Like Jose Quintana came in sort of late into the rotation. We haven't seen Brandon Woodruff. What's his name? Nestor Cortez hasn't been around in how long? And there's been pleasant surprises from some of the guys that, frankly, we didn't know much about before the start of the season.
And I saw that Nestor Cortez is also getting closer to returning after his lengthy recovery from the injury as well. Sophia Minert tweeting yesterday that the Brewers now have the best record in baseball over the last 30 days, 20-8 since May 25th, a season high 9 games above 500. Again, a lot of that is not just the Miz being out there and getting those wins in his 3 starts, but also the way that the offense is sort of coming on. And what we're trying to figure out is this sustainable? There are certainly still going to be ebbs and flows. There are certainly still going to be hills and valleys, but is this sustainable to be putting out this sort of rotation? The Miz and Freddie Peralta and Jose Quintana and Chad Patrick, and when Woodruff comes back, inserting him into that, and then also getting the offensive production that you have gotten from some of these younger guys. Like that's the recipe, right? I don't want to oversimplify it, but that seems to be the recipe, and that is something the Brewers have been doing really well lately. So we are super excited about that. But I also am nervous about the bottom falling out. I'm nervous about there being some sort of "this is why we can't have nice things" moment for the Milwaukee Brewers, and I am tempering that little voice. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm tempering that voice.
Could he be a coach's addition to the All-Star game?
Mizrowski?
Yeah.
I think you could do it. They find ways to get guys in who deserve it. I don't know if they're going to be so quick to put a young guy who, by the time the All-Star break will happen, what do they have, 4 or 5
but what
starts?
if he's undefeated with, you know what I'm saying, 9 hits?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible. And
we're only 5 series away from the All-Star game, by the way.
Right. So, I mean, he could have by that time enough starts to sort of make an impression. But you typically give that to the veteran guys before you usher in the 23-year-old who has had a cup of coffee in the bigs.
That's a high-end cup of coffee, though.
He may only have 2 more starts.
Right.
The way that this shakes out between now and then.
Yeah.
So to your point, he could be 5-0, and he could have given up 5 hits, which would be awesome.
I would make an argument that it would be smart for them to figure out a way
to get him there.
Yes.
Have him walk the red carpet
Yes.
or sit in the trucks or whatever it is that they do now for the All-Star game.
In terms of PR, getting people excited about the young players, I don't think he's probably necessarily the most charismatic young fella at this point.
There's a little Mike Trout to him.
Yes. But I kind of like my baseball players.
Do we have to worry about Steady Freddie getting a little jealous or no?
I can't imagine so.
You know what? Players get jealous. I'm just telling you, they get jealous.
Yeah, but it's not like Mizorowski's going to get paid more.
No, but it's all spotlight.
Yeah, but Freddie's probably going to be there anyways.
Okay, I'm just saying. I just saying, players get a little jealous.
I don't see it, but that doesn't mean you might. And look, sometimes you get jealous, but you don't say that you're jealous, right? Sometimes you get that tweak of envy, but you go, you know what? Shut up, right? You tell the envy.
Cookies.
You tell the envy. You're like, get over it. Get over yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Freddie, we'd be talking about you if you have done the same thing.
I'm not speaking from experience or anything. It's just this is more hypothetical speaking. Let's take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to, and I do want to get to Alex Strofe and all of the reaction that rolled in this morning. Asking what sport Alex Strofe should attempt next, what sport we feel confident and comfortable with him doing. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is where you should stay if you are in Milwaukee, planning to visit the city, or maybe you just need a night out. Enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. It's conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee in the Theater District. Deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence. That means that there is an artist doing their art in a gallery that you can walk past and watch. Very cool. They also have nightly live music. You'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate, so book now. stkatearts.com, stkatearts.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
An accident in the Hale interchange is really affecting your ride right now. Northbound on the Rock Freeway to northbound 894 in the Hale. We got the left lane blocked with a crash. That's making for big delays from the county line all the way into the Hale interchange. We've also got a crash on eastbound 94 at the ramp from Hawley Road. It is off on the right shoulder, and it's going to be causing some hiccups. We got delays basically from 84th Street past that scene all the way into the stadium interchange. Westbound 94, you're seeing backups from 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, warm and humid. Chance for showers and storms, a high of 84 at the lake, 90 inland. Tonight, scattered showers and storms, a low of 69. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Naushina Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Excuse me. Hold on. Getting choked up over it. So, hold on. Give me a moment.
On 94.5 ESPN.
For your next big event, Noble Catering has to be your first call. Southeastern Wisconsin's premier craft caterer, preferred by over 30 venues in the area. And coming in the spring of 2026, Noble's new headquarters, Brixton's Turn, a 400-person event venue located in the heart of Bayview's Harbor District. Have beverage needs for that upcoming party? Neat Beverage Catering offers mobile bartending to elevate that event. And lastly, but certainly not least, I want to tell you about the stunning riverfront bar inside the Associated Bank River Center Vault. A perfect summer spot before a night out in the town or a ball game. Go there before watching The Miz. Featuring happy hour specials, a menu with tremendous flatbreads and raw bar, and of course, an incredible view of the Milwaukee River.
Popped over to our friends on 620 this morning, and they were talking about the Kettle Marte situation. So, you probably saw Arizona Diamondbacks' Kettle Marte breaking down in tears mid-game after a fan's verbal assault. That's what it's being called, a verbal assault. The fallout from that is that the fan has now been banned from all major league ballparks. Apparently, the fan was shouting at Marte about his late mother. His mom died in a car accident in 2017. The fan was commenting on that or heckling him about that. It obviously made him visibly emotional, and Major League Baseball stepped in. The White Sox stepped in and said, get out of here. Joshy, you shared a video with us of the guy being escorted out of the ballpark. And then they said, you're not allowed at any ballpark going forward, which reminds us that, like, being a fan is a privilege. When you go there, it is not your seat. You are renting the seat. There's a certain level of behavior that is expected. But Chewy, what I told the guys on 620 is, this is a gray area for me. I know, and I'm not endorsing or condoning talking about someone's dead mother to try to get a rise out of them, to try to knock them off of, whatever mental locked in space they're in. But we do reward fans, or at least encourage them, to try to create a home field, home court advantage. So what is in bounds? What are the things that you can say to try to get under a guy's skin and affect their performance that won't get you kicked out of a ballpark?
I think this is so far. This guy's low-life scum. I mean, I wouldn't even say this to an enemy. He's just scum. This is Twitter scum. right here. This is what that is. I mean, what? I mean, I'm just absolutely so disgusted by it that you would do something like that to someone's dead mom who passed away in a car accident. You are a lowlife. It just blows my mind. And I get it. And you were telling me some of the stories at some of the college football games. What the hell's the matter with society where they say some of the things they do for personal gain?
Well, I'm sure you experience this on some level.
Yeah, but they would, yes, and I enjoyed some of it. But the line back in the day was, hey, Frank, why don't you have another donut? You know? Which we would chuckle at in New York and say, just please don't say anything about me. Can you announce this so I can get the hell out of here? That was the line. The level that it's out at now is just absolutely disgusting. And I'm trying to say, Philly was the worst. The Raiders were the worst, but they never even came close to where it's at today. And it's just, I mean, you couldn't pay me to go to a game. You really can't. I have no desire. People are stupid. And I'm not talking to everyone, obviously, but do you think they were? Let me ask you a question, because we talked about the other day. Were people always like this before Twitter or before social ways of sending trash out there? Did they always think like this and talk like this, and now they just have an avenue to put it out there?
I think people have always been hateful. But
They're
I think
jealous.
what contributes
They're jealous.
Exactly. What
Yes.
contributes to the hatefulness is envy, which we were talking about earlier, because you can see so much of what people are putting out there. You know, think about back in the day. Think about our parents' generation. Our parents didn't know what was going on 2 towns over.
No.
You sort of knew what was going on in your backyard, on your street, in your town, and that was it. Right? So you didn't have to compare or keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Now you're getting fed every single person's life, and you're sitting there comparing and contrasting. And I think that it creates shame and hatefulness. And then a lot of people's way of dealing with that is to throw it back out into the world. And it comes out that way.
Yeah.
But here's what I will say that's crazy to me is, so this is the line then? Now we know where the line is? Don't talk about people's dead moms? Because what Chewy said is accurate. I tell him about the stuff I hear on those college football sidelines. It makes me blush. I find it to be disgusting, disrespectful. And I looked at some of these kids and I was like, are you serious right now? Like, with all the recording devices that are rolling around, that's what you want to throw out there? But in their mind, Joshy, it is justified if they can get in the heads of the opponent. If even for a second that kid switches his focus from what he's going to do on the field to, what did that guy just say about me? Then it's worth it for these fans. That's the way they justify it in their heads.
I think it has even less to do with actual like play results. And to me, it's an attempt to get attention on you, to take it away from the field and the athletes, and for people to go, oh my God, I can't believe that guy said that.
I agree.
Certainly rooting and being a fan and contributing, there's certainly ways to contribute towards your team or attempt to, and for the betterment. This to me is a life led without repercussions. It's somebody who's never said that to another person, and that person reacted with, well, now you're going to have to pay for it. You're either going to physically be in an altercation, or you're going to suffer the punishment, which we now see is you are now lifetime banned from MLB games. I hope you like it. This was a young person, very young. And I think that's informative here.
But you know what, Josh? I guarantee he has already gone around town and said, hey, I'm the guy in the video.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Ain't I great? No, you're a scum. You're a loser.
Yes.
You know? And if I was at that ballpark, I would have said something to the guy, you know?
It seemed like, from the videos I've seen, it seemed like the people around him were rather unhappy. They were same fan of it was the White Sox, right? It was the game it was at. It seemed like the people around him wanted him removed as well.
They were embarrassed.
They were rooting for the same team because, someone's mother, someone's family is untouchable. And to me, I'm there to root for my team. I'll boo Craig Counsell. I'll boo Jesse Winker.
Which is fine.
But it's all because of what they did on the field. I'm not concerned with their off-field stuff unless they're like somebody who has a bad, like a Trevor Bauer. I'd love to root against him. Bad guy.
And who's vested in a team that much when you suck? Right? The White Sox are terrible.
Maybe there's some of that frustration as well with the team underperforming, and you're a fan of a team that hasn't delivered the way that you want them to. And again, I want to be clear. I'm not justifying the behavior, but I do think this is such an interesting study, a case study in we continue to reward attention. We continue to recognize that the extremes are what get attention.
Yeah.
I hear people all the time say, the middle gets no juice. Doesn't do you any good to ride the fence. You got to be way left or way right. And I'm not just talking politics. I'm talking about with your takes. I'm talking about with your opinions. I'm talking about all of it. They tell you that's what sells. And we keep seeing that. And not only are we seeing it, but we're seeing it be rewarded. And so, Joshy, to your point, like, again, this fan was in the wrong. I want to be clear so somebody doesn't come at me and say, I can't believe you defended what the fan was saying. I'm saying we've created an environment that has rewarded this type of behavior, and then we're upset when somebody tries to reap the benefits of the environment we've created.
Right. It's well, not that way, even though you constantly get feedback on the attention, because that's a large part of what this all is all based on. There's also a thing that, and it happens mainly in football, where people taunt. I mean, NFL athletes are superhumans. And they taunt those people, and it's like, you have the protection of the stands and the separation there, but I would be terrified if a big defensive lineman got attention on me. Like, are you not afraid that person, like, we've seen it happen. We've seen stuff make it into the stands, and is there no worry from you that these people might lose it? There might be a snap here. Instead of Ketel Marte crying, what's stopping him from going into the stands?
But that's why
I don't think anyone's stopping him.
We talked about Aaron the other day, and like, dude, why do you listen?
The rabbit ears.
Why do you listen? You play in stadiums where people say this stuff and you dismiss it and you go out and play well, and now it affects you in your personal life. Who cares? People don't like me. I could care less if you don't like me. You know what I do to you? I don't like you back. Very simple. Who cares? Hate away. What do they say? Let haters hate?
Or even the Mad Men line, I don't think about you at all.
I don't.
You know?
Yeah.
But I also think it's interesting, and I brought this up on 620 with the guys. We are not that far removed, guys, from watching Tyrese Halliburton's dad, John, walk out onto the court after eliminating the Bucks, shaking the Tyrese Halliburton flag in Giannis's face, taunting him about the loss. And then there were people who were like, that wasn't out of bounds. That was just a proud dad. He was just out there. You know what I mean? So, like, again, there's a lot of nuance here when it comes to fans and fans' behavior and fans' interaction with players. And I do appreciate that this situation has sort of drawn a line in the sand. We now know that that's at least a boundary. That's a guardrail, right? And so for all the things, like I've said, I've heard while standing on the sidelines of college football games and going, you kiss your mother with that mouth? Guess now we know mothers are off limits.
I would hope this is sort of a precedent for other leagues where I don't know if that should be where the line is. I wouldn't be opposed to, like, we've seen people screaming at athletes about their parlays. Guess what? You're done.
Oh, Gabby Thomas, right?
Yeah.
The Gabby Thomas thing.
It happens way more than I think we recognize, because athletes at this point are so used to it. You see it constantly on the internet of people getting mad at somebody. But that's happening also there. Like, the standard should be, if you step out of line, banned. No longer allowed here. Sorry. We have our rules, and you didn't meet the expectation of a fan.
Take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Appreciate the conversation, gentlemen. 10 years ago, the Badgers basketball team made a run in March that was magical. Wisconsin basketball made them believe. On Thursday, June 26th, you can join the Stars from that squad as they remember and celebrate the 2015 run to Indy. And look, Ben Bruss has put together an all-star cast of folks who are going to be at this event. So go to uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com to get your tickets now. Untold stories, memories from that season, and special guests are sure to be a thrill. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Ben said they are close to selling out. Few more ticket sales and they will get there. So if you want to be there, uwhoops2015.com, uwhoops2015.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Your business is HVAC. You want to grow that business while providing the very best in service. Instead, you're struggling under a pile of administrative tasks. Service Titan is here to help with our all-in-one solution for the trades. We've made managing all of your business needs, from scheduling to invoicing, easier than ever. Service Titan, giving you the time and the tools you need to keep your company running smoothly. Learn how Service Titan helps manage your business at servicetitan.com.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16th at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
His eyeball.
Wait.
Where do I get him?
I just assumed when I said wait, did you just think it was just a suggestion?
Yeah, pretty much. Typically.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. For Mental Health Awareness Month, BetterHelp surveyed 16,000 people across 23 countries for its first ever State of Stigma report. And they found that while 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy. And look, when people hesitate to get help when they need it, it doesn't just affect them. It affects their families, their workplaces, their entire communities. BetterHelp is trying to change that. They are the world's largest online therapy platform. They've served more than 5 million people globally, and they want you to join their team. We are all better with help. So go to betterhelp.com/timeout, and you'll get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout, because we're all better with help. I'm not sure anything can help Alex Strofe. Alex Strofe joins us now on the phone. Alex, we've been showing your video of the first pitch yesterday at the Chinooks. First, I'm going to give you the opportunity to explain yourself. What the hell happened, man?
Oh, my God.
Not if you're an athlete.
Why did it warm up, though, man? When I threw the first pitch for the Red Sox, I threw
Oh, my
pitches
God.
underneath in the concourse area, just so that the first one wasn't the one that flew 10 feet over the catcher.
Oh, my God.
And we agreed not to warm up. So I think that's going to be the question why I went so poorly. I think it's because I didn't warm up.
Oh, my God.
I tried to throw that thing as hard as I could. What do you mean now?
That's the other thing. Why did you try to throw it hard?
Oh,
boy.
Are you accepting your ban? Your 1-year ban?
No. Good news for you, too. My first tee time of the year tomorrow, baby. I'm going to be swinging them straight.
Oh,
Can you
no,
take
there's
video?
Zero chance. There's zero chance.
Because we're getting a lot of mileage out of this.
Well, Josh, it's one of Josh's favorite clips, Chewy. I don't know if you've seen it, but a couple of years ago, I golfed at University Ridge in Madison, and with my pitching wedge, I missed the ball 8 times in a row.
Not shocked. Does not shock
No, you
me.
shouldn't be.
Please set up
You
a
shouldn't
camera,
be.
at least for a
Yes.
few tee shots. We would love to see the athleticism on display yet again. Alex Strofe, kind enough to join us this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy as we give him grief for the horrible, atrocious first pitch yesterday at the Chinooks game. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great one, everybody.
Wrapping things up with an accident in the Hale interchange.